refuge on page 4 or 1?
4 and 5.
Welcome to our Dharma discussion, and Khenpo will start by leading us in refuge in our yellow prayer book on page 4.
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all Mother Sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity from attachment and aversion. May all Mother Sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all Mother Sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Yeah.
So welcome everyone to our Dharma discussion this Sunday. And so for those of you who are in the Zoom room, if you want to ask a question, please do the raise your hand function within Zoom, and we'll call on you and you can unmute yourself. Right now we have one question via email that we'll start with. If I practice generation stage during daily activities, for example, when I'm talking to a friend, should I visualize myself as the deity, as if the deity were speaking to my friend instead of me, or should I visualize the deity in front of me?
Okay, so actually this both are very both ideas are very amazing, but I think you visualize deity in front of you, and then you supplicate it, and you supplicate to your Yodam deity. Actually, the best way is first you invite Yodam deity from the Pure Lands. And then after you offer offering things, if you understand Gambadan Pupam Dupam Alok this part, you do this part. If you can't do these mantras, then you this Mandala Offering, during the Hundo we have this whole universe you offer to the your Yodam deity, and then do prostration. If you cannot stand up to do prostration, it's okay. You bow like respect. This is also in part of prostration. So you do that, and then after that, then you should request to your Yodam deity. You request to your Yodam deity, and through your mind, you speak with the Yodam deity, and you say, please help to my friend. And then that is your bodhicitta. And then also request to your yidam deity, say, please eliminate the obstacles of my friend. So you mention that through your mind. And then you visualize from that yidam deity is heart chakra. There's a syllable, one syllable, home. Home is also okay for all the common. So visualize a home, and then from this syllable home radiate like the sun's ray, radiate light towards this your friend, on your friend, or on your family. And then you visualize that it freed from suffering, freed from obstacles of your friend. So you visualize that, and then you recite mantra. If you already have these experiences of practice, then you recite mantra. So mantra is yidam deity's language. So you can speak yidam deity means you recite mantra. And then you recite mantra, and then that means then yidam deity understand what do you want. So your yidam deity wants help for your friend. So that's why in the mantra it mentions how help. For example, in the mantra it mentions bestowing two kinds of siddhis, common siddhi and uncommon siddhis, to your friends. For example, if your friend is a student of school, and then if your friend needs to good result of education and good numbers of examination, and then yidam deity bestow these siddhi or blessings. So that's where you recite mantra. But the anytime you practice yidams, before you generate bodhicitta is very important. And then after you did this visualization for 1 hour or 1 minute, then you do short dedication. That is very important, because dedication means you saved. Number one is saved your merit. This is number one. It's like a money saved in the bank. Another reason is if you dedicate it after you practiced, then for example, I recite Om Mani Padme Hum, and then I dedicate it through my mind for other beings. And after I dedicate it, and then one person say some negative things to me, and I'm a little bit angry. So this angry emotion cannot interrupt my recitation of Om Mani Padme Hum. If I do not dedicate it, still then my angry emotion and Mani Padme Hum has connection, mix. So that's where it's very much depends your feeling, the motivation. For example, Om Mani Padme Hum, you just recite with a normal kind of feeling. But anger is very powerful. It's like a water flood. So that logically we can understand that which emotion is more powerful. That's where then this angry emotion takes away your Om Mani Padme Hum. But if you dedicate that and then already divide it, your virtues and angry emotion already you separate it. So that's where angry emotion goes itself, and your virtues of Om Mani Padme Hum or merit of your Om Mani Padme Hum is always there. And then especially dedication is, I don't know, you have this experience. In Tibet, we have wool, the sheep's wool. Sheep's wool make a thread. In Sanskrit, it's called sutara, actually. So thread. So thread, when we make thread, and one person is making thread like this, the hand or the strike like this, doing different way. We have different kind of ideas. But one person needs to very slowly spend it slowly. If there is some very thick, make a little bit thin. It's true thing, almost breaking, still connected. This is very kind of carefully need to spend it. That's where Saraha gave this example in his Doha, great teachings of meditation. Doha means the Mahasiddha's song. So Saraha also gave this example. So we are going to very slow, kind of gently but skillfully send this wool. Likewise, if you dedicate that, then this dedication send or spend this merit to you continually. For example, if you need, you will travel somewhere. If you have some obstacles at that time, it supports. If you are practice Dharma or retreat, at that time you have some obstacle. At that time it supports, something like that. So dedication helps a lot, even in your sleep. And sometimes if you have some strange dream, and at that time also this dedication spend or send some merit there. So that's where it's very continually spend. I think it's send the your merit. So if you recite Om Mani Padme Hum one time, then it never finish this merit. So dedication is important. That's why you can. That's where you can. You can. How to say? Visualize Yidam deity for the sake of your friend, and then, as I mentioned that, and then dedication is very important. Okay.
We have a question here in the temple.
Thank you, Lama. When we do a retreat, maybe 7 days, okay, and we do a post, and we go out to work or to do something.
Yes.
It's, for me, it's a little hard to, because when we in retreat we're so peaceful, quiet.
Yeah.
Then we go outside, it's so crazy.
Right.
What can I do to go out, but not so more compassion to go out and work maybe, or meet friends or travel?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much. So that's exactly your experience. Shares us that you did a very good retreat. So for that reasons, your retreat moment and the moment of this mundane activity is quite different. You feel different. But during your retreat, actually, the number one, it's support to you by environment. The environment is very peaceful, because there are not people making noisy, or some people do not interrupt your retreat, and it's externally quiet and peaceful, and internally then you practice meditate recite through. That's why you feel peaceful, peace and happiness. So, but we are going to learn a great thing during the retreat. That is mindfulness. Mindfulness always holds our mind. Our mind is like a spoiled child, and mindfulness is a very careful mother. So then a child cannot stay one place, and child sometimes going in dangerous place. So at that moment, mother of mindfulness bring it back from there. Sometimes then our mind is like sleep. So that means drowsiness. I think it's a drowsiness, unclear. That is actually part of ignorance. So there are different kind of emotions, but always you are going to apply mindfulness. So my main answer is, while you go back at your home, of course, and you see same thing, your environment is same. It's totally different retreat area, and your place it's totally different. So at that time, main thing is you keep your mind with mindfulness. So retreat has two retreat physically and mentally in the retreat area, and also retreat our mind with our mindfulness. So that's why you always applying mindfulness. Always apply mindfulness. And then sometimes there are strong thoughts and emotion. Acknowledge it. First they come. Strong emotion arises from your mind, and then you acknowledge that now it's time to focus your practice, or time to little bit reduce this emotion, or it depends. For example, if you are home and sit on the sofa, stay on sofa, at that time, if you arises a strong emotion, and then you practice, recite or recite mantras, or recite sadhana or texts, or other practice meditation and so forth. And if you are driving on the car or something, at that time you suddenly cannot recite these prayers, cannot open the prayer books or so forth. So that's where its emotion comes. First, understanding is very important. When we are meditating, we actually start to understanding our emotions. So that's where sometimes we don't have interesting to meditate. But sometimes drowsiness. Sometimes we feel tired. I don't like to meditate because I'm tired. Something like that. So that means during the meditation, we start to understand our thoughts. So when thoughts occur or arises in your mind, first you should understand. That's very important. And then don't make unhappy. Don't be unhappy with these emotions. Oh, I don't like this emotion. I don't like that. That doesn't help. But you apply some method. For example, anger arises, the emotion arises. At that time, you should think that, oh, this anger emotion is a not good emotion. It's a unhygienic emotion. This emotion does not work well in my body. Even it's not good health. So that's where I'm going to a little bit stay far away from this emotion. So how should you do? You should focus other things. If you are angry one person, don't focus towards that person. You focus other kind of your future plan or yidam deity or supplication, something like that. So if you have a kind of other same like other emotions, at that time you don't rely on these emotions, and then their powers a little bit reduce, and then your mindfulness, power of your mindfulness grow. Otherwise, when they are very kind of these emotions are very strong at that moment, sometimes we cannot eliminate them. They are very how to say strong and very powerful. So that's where this is one thing. And at when you are at home, of course, you look at the emotion, and you watch it. Actually, we say watch it. Watch the emotion. Slow while you are watching this emotion, and then this emotion has no way to go anywhere. It just dissolves into your mindfulness, and then your mindfulness becomes clearer and clearer. So if you can do one time with the one emotion, that this experience you can utilize always, and then your mindfulness become very powerful. That's why Lord Jigten Sunggung says there is no meditation better than mindfulness. So mindfulness is always principle. Okay, thank you.
We have a question from the Zoom room. Eleanor, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you.
I have a question about. I think I've almost understand this consort stuff. Who was Mother Tara's consort, and who is Achi's consort?
Actually, exactly. There's a consort. Actually, when we heard the consort, I can answer that in the two ways. Number one is consorts are the consorts of all the male yidams. That's we can say. For example, Bangawati is a female yidam, is Tara, yeah? Bangaven is a male yidam. Male yidam is a method. Female yidam is wisdom. So that's why these female yidams are female yidams can be the consorts of all the male yidams in this way. But in another way, some kind of first I say that because all the male yidams and female yidams are included 5 family Buddhas and 5 family Buddhas consorts. So that's where I say that this is actually outwardly. So, for example, the Tara, you said Tara. The white Tara is a consort of Amitoyo. White Tara is a consort of Amitoyo.
But who's White Tara's consort?
Oh, West Tara's consort.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Actually, White Tara's consort is quite difficult to say, right? Because
Twin Tara's consort, Mother Tara's consort.
Consort means like ordinary words is like a wife, is it? Wife.
Well, that's my question. I mean, are all consorts female?
Yeah.
If that's so, then the female Buddhas, what do they do for consorts?
Oh yes, females doesn't have a consort in the relative level. Females don't have a consort, but they have in ordinary words is they have a husband or yep. So yab, they don't have another yab. I just received this question today earlier. So in this way, the yab, they don't have another yab. So the reason is that internally, yab yom means yab means method. That is compassion. Yom is wisdom. So the compassion and wisdom union, that's where we see yidams. They are always sit together or stand up, and they hold each other's. That's what we see. So that's where Tara, for example, Tara is a consort of Amitoyo. Amitoyo is the male yidam of the Tara, wet Tara. Green Taras, these, for example, ordinary words we can use the husband is Vajikalaya. Vajikalaya. So they externally what we see. Internally, this our wisdom and compassion. Secretly, our white drop here and red drop there. So that's where they are the yab and yom. Eventually, when they clip, they are come together. At that time, if we realize the meaning of this, and then we become enlightened. If we don't realize that, we die. It's the death means that we will die. And then after again, die means like a death means like a unconsciousness. And then we come back from there again. Then sometimes we come back in the different realms because of our karma. Perhaps we just wandering in the bardo. So that's where, in this case, yab yom means like that. And then Tara, you said Tara. Tara is actually Lord Jigten Sungun's kind of grandmother. She is origin Dakini. Dakini also has different aspects or different types of Dakinis. Some are like a single Dakinis. That means they don't engage with like a male yidam deity. But the reality, Tara and Apchi are inseparable. So Tara is Apchi is particularly come to benefit this Dugong lineage practitioners. So that's Tara particularly come to help Dugong lineage is in the Tara's form. And Tara particularly came to other lineage. Then they have this the female Dharma protectors, Pardin Lamo, and different lineages has different female Dharma protectors. They all actually came from Tara, something like that.
Oh, okay. All right. That helps a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have a question here in the temple.
Hello, Khenpo.
Hello.
How does one practice compassion skillfully in the context of day-to-day life and interacting with people in society? How to differentiate between idiot compassion and skillful compassion on a daily basis in a householder's life?
Thank you so much. So, of course, first we are going to practice a characteristic compassion. That means we should really perceive these suffering beings are real sufferer, or that means they experience suffering. We don't talk about emptiness or something like that. And one should give rise compassion with emotionally Sometimes we see some kind of people or some beings suffering. For example, one person fall from the mountain to the, or I think the best example is a bear. Bear eat one person. That person not die there. At that time we have something, the feeling, that is actually compassion. Even we watch video, but still we have some feeling. That is actually compassion, characteristic compassion. Sometimes I think we can't understand what is compassion. So that is actually the example of the one compassion. And then we are going to improve after we understand, that is my compassion. So this emotion or feeling is my compassion, and then we progress with that. That's one method. Actually, there is another method is first, for example, you travel to some places, and then there are some people kill other animal, and then at that time, sometimes you if this animal, if I am that animal, how much suffering? So this we share our kind of feeling and others' feeling, like exchange. So if I am this animal, then what happened? For example, right now in the hospital, many people die. Right now, in this moment, we cannot count numbers of those people, and they have inconceivable suffering. Definitely, they have suffering. Just a few people still have suffering, but they probably they choose it. But still, is they do not choose. It's kind of enthusiastically. They have helpless, maybe then they choose. Some, but some are, we cannot say everybody is the same. But so that's where we should remember that they all have suffering. If we are headache or a little bit hurts our back or the knees, even during the 4 hour moment, at that time it's so difficult to accept this painful or this suffering. So that's where we should think, remember that, and then we try to improve compassion. May they free from suffering. May they free from suffering. And then another way is you are first you image your loved one, your friends or your parents or your siblings or relatives, whatever, or your pet or something, and then you should think, may you free from suffering. So sometimes we can say that many times, may you free from suffering, but that's a very good question. So we should really do it internally. But that is also still, I'm not talking real deep meaning. So the very, very deep meaning is best example is if you call your friends or parents long time did not see or something, and then how are you? And they say, oh, I have some problems. And then mind has lots of, we are worried. And then we start to, if it's quickly recovered or quickly freed from these problems, we definitely have that. So this is actually compassion too. So then we imagine one of these, and then may you free from suffering. May you, that is the characteristic compassion. And then slowly your compassion start to grow. So, for example, right now I'm facing northeast. So all beings of this direction of northeast, they're freed from suffering. And then I change my visualization, the south, west, and north, and then all the 10 directions. step by step, I visualize that with feeling, with a very strong feel that. I think we all have compassion, but sometimes we should understand that and then improve that. That's number one. Number two is we really deeply try to arise compassion. That's very important, I think. Like we learning something, we really try to understand something, that subject. Likewise, we try to really arise some compassion, and then one watch oneself. I try to arise compassion, and I examine, is it my real compassion or not? In this moment, this characteristic compassion is, if you ask yourself, is it this real compassion or not, then you will know that. So this is, I think, good method. Okay. Thank you so much.
So we have a question from Trish in the Zoom room. If you want to unmute yourself, please, Trish.
Hi, Khenpo. I have a question about the Doha you mentioned earlier by Saraha. You were talking about with the wool spinning, and I have wool to spin, so I'd like to read the Doha so I make sure that I understand it correctly. Can you tell me what the name is, where I can find it, please?
Actually, there are few, just like but the name is Saraha Doha. They use this text in different text for different texts. Sometimes they just Doha. They use only words of the Doha. Sometimes they use the Saraha Doha, and sometimes they make a more long name. But first, you try to check Saraha Doha. Okay. If you cannot find, then I will let you know. So usually you say Saraha Doha, then you can find this text.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's see. We have David. If you'd like to unmute yourself. Thank you.
How you doing?
Hello. Yeah.
Quick question. When you're talking about Mandala offerings, I feed the ravens I have out here every morning. And how would I go about visualizing this as a Mandala offering, like you were talking about the hand offerings yesterday?
Yes. First, Mandala offering is polite. Practice generosity means something giving. So both are same. We give something. So we give towards the lower realms or some same like our the situations. We use practice generosity or giving. When we give something to the Yadam deities or higher this Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, we use offering mandala and so forth. But then how to do is, number one, you should understand that offering mandala is a special method to reduce self-grasping. That is the very principle. And then after that, then you are going to a little bit familiar with the refuge field. In this case, refuge field, the center is a Vajradhara. Right side there is a Buddha and 3 times of Buddhas. Left side of the Vajradhara there are this Jinreze and other Bodhisattvas. And then behind of this Vajradhara there is Parjana Paramita and many volumes. So then the top of there, the lineage gurus from another Vajradhara, and the short lineage, long lineage guru and short lineage gurus, Mahasiddhas and so forth. And then surrounding of this Vajradhara, there are many kind of lineage gurus. They are almost ready to bestowing their cities. The cities are like a water drops, almost ready to drop. If we this is like a tree. Actually, they are on the tree. Tree is a represent of also bodhicitta. So if we are sometimes we have rain. We can learn a lot of things with these things. I'm actually not a very skillful learner, but when I travels or doing something, I learned a lot. That this thing I learned a lot means I always can bring Dharma for the sake of Dharma. For instance, I want to. It's called a higher even the fly, something like that. It teaches me a lot. Even I feel it's profound teaching. So, anyhow, in the daytime is the sun rain. We have rain. After stop the rain, we go to near the tree, and we looking the branch of tree or leaves of tree. There are many water drops. Almost they're dropping on the ground. If we are a little bit shake like this, they definitely drops on the ground. So that's where the best hand to shake this tree of this refuge field tree is our devotion, mandala offering, and so forth. That's where these you are going to little bit familiar with these refuge fields, and then wherever you're facing. Wherever you east, north, west, or anywhere you're facing, they were there, that direction. So that's where when you do hand like this, the mindfulness is extremely important. So you just remember, oh, I'm offering, I am doing something like that, not like that. Offer you the whole universe. So mandala is the best thing. Usually mandala is whole universe. But everything is possible. So mandala is in your hand. Whole universe can fit in your hand. So that's where you do like this. At that time, you remember that. Oh, I offer you this this mandala to the refuge fields. Often doing like that, and then first you are. Make effort. You are going to make effort. Then slowly, effortlessly, it comes to you. So this is the method. Okay.
Okay. One more question.
Yes, of course.
Can you explain the bodhicitta nerve?
Bodhicitta.
The nerve you were talking about.
Oh, bodhicitta nerve.
Yes.
Bodhicitta nerve means actually is part of channel, bodhicitta channel.
So it is.
Oh, this actually the in the Tibetan medicine, it says 80,000 of channels, and in the Tantra, this Vajrayana. It says actually there are countless of channels. It mentioned how we began, how our life begins, and how these channels grew, and then how they dry up each and every channels because of inner wind doesn't work there, something like that. It mentions very details, and then but the main thing is for the sake of practice. There are 3 main channels and 4 chakras. Some lineages often mentioned 5, and over lineage mentioned 4 chakras. So then, actually, this the principal channel is the center channel. So some channels are a little bit secret. So we are quite hard to explain that part. But so main thing is that. This channel, center channel is invisible channel, but when we straight over spine, backbone straight, then this center channel automatically straight. So that's why in the meditation path instruction it says if you're straight, your body is straight, your channel. If your channels is straight, your channel, and then your wind straight. That means it's going very well. If your wind goes well, then these how to say the mind will be clear. So that's where there is a very good examples like wind is like a horse without eyes, and mind is like a person who has eyes but without legs and arms. So we just put on this horse, this the blind. Sorry, this person on the blind horse, and then this horse is not a very kind of gentle horse. It's a very kind of strong and quite crazy horse. So it's possible going everywhere. So that's why it's pretty dangerous. But then the mindfulness and wisdoms are the person, the person who has the eyes. So that's where then who can I don't know how to say is move or turn the horse wherever one is going. So that's where mindfulness and wisdom is very important. And then bodhicitta, actually there is a wisdom wind and a karmic wind in our channel. So wisdom wind functions while we are practicing, accumulate merit, and doing other kind of yidam visualizations and so forth. Then we can practice with the wisdom wind, and then bodhicitta also function through this way. Okay.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question here at GBI?
No.
Anyone online?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Rosemary? You want to unmute yourself?
Oh, yes.
If you want, you can do there's a question in the chat. You can do that one first, maybe. Is that okay?
Actually, I'm not there right now. So if you could go, please.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
What are some things that we can do in our day to increase devotion?
How to can you repeat?
Increase devotion.
Oh, how to increase devotion? Yes. First, the foundation of devotion is faith. And faith, there are three faiths: yearning and yearning faith, and trusting faith, and then one faith. Among the third is actually we are going to see lots of positive things. For example, you are faith. You are going to arise the devotion towards Tara. You are going to. You should like Tara, for example. Tara's ornaments. You should love Tara's ornaments. You should love Tara's activities. You should love Tara's kind of postures and so forth. That is very important. And then you are going to see the lots of good things. Oh, Tara has the 7 eyes. That is represent of 7 wisdoms. Or Tara holds some flowers in her hands. That means it represents the 3 jewels. Or so Tara has one face. That means Tara is in ultimate level. Tara is the Dharmakaya. Something like that. You are going to understand all of these things, and then slowly, then you in the ordinary words, it's you love Tara. So then, actually, the devotion is sometimes spontaneously occur. So if you have a strong faith, then the devotion spontaneously occur. And when devotion occurs, its condition is sometimes a little funny. Sometimes we just stay outside of the house, for example, sit on a chair, and then we see the trees, the branches moved by wind. I don't know, it spontaneously arises devotion. Sometimes we don't know if this is devotion or not. Devotion means when we remember Tara, for example, remember Tara, our mind becomes very soft. Sometimes we love to cry, but not out loud cry. Sometimes likes to laugh. We love to laugh a little bit or something. Mind is, but at that moment, Tara is appear in the mind, not like a picture in front or back, just in the mind, or mandala of the mind. Tara appears there, and then it mixes with our love, and actually that is a devotion. So at that moment, it has a great quality. That means it sees all the thoughts. Usually we say 33 angry thoughts and 40 attachment thoughts and 7 ignorance thoughts. Just the kind of 80 of these thoughts sees there, and then our mind very kind of pure at that moment. Mind becomes very pure. So then Tara's blessings of body, speech, and mind receive in our life. So the faith is very important first. Okay.
Okay, we have one more question here. What can I do after I experience harm from another? I did do a Vajrasattva retreat.
What can I do after
I experience harm from someone else?
Oh, I see. Yes, best things, Vajrasattva. That's perfect. Vajrasattva is actually Vajrasattva and Kunduzambo, Vajradhara are the inseparable. So that's why Vajrasattva, if you practice Vajrasattva with 4 powers, then all the non-virtues are just like dry wood on the big fire. So if you put dry wood on the fire, then this fire burns it immediately. Likewise, if you apply 4 powers and then practice Vajrasattva, then all the non-virtues purify. That is the law of the karma. Okay.
All right. Anyone else for a final question?
Probably.
Do you have a dedication prayer for us?
Yes.
To finish with, Khenpo?
Okay. Thank you so much for asking wonderful questions. And now we are dedicated with this page number 28, yellow book, the bottom line, only 4 verses. If you don't have, just generate bodhicitta, ultimate bodhicitta or relative bodhicitta, either fine. Chanjo zenjo renpo che ma je ba no je ba nyan ba me ba ya go ne gon de be wa jo. May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. Thank you so much. May you have long life.
Thanks, everyone. If you want to unmute yourself to say goodbye and thanks to Khenpo, please do so.
Khenpo.
Thank you.
Thank you much.
Thank you so much, Khenpo.
Thank you, Canon Priscilla.
Thank you so much, you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sending love. We are fortunate.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Yes. Thank you.
So sweet.
Thank you.